So welcome everybody. Today we will learn what are HTML input element. The input element is the most used form element. If you don't know what are HTML forms, go to my previous video on HTML forms in my channel. The input element can be displayed in several ways depending on the type attribute. There are many input types like input type button, checkbox, color, date, datetime, local, email, file, hidden, image, month, time, URL, week. These are HTML input element types and they will be displayed in several ways. Okay, so let's start. Input.html. Load the structure. HTML input. Okay, so let's start with input type text because this is the most used. Input type text. Okay, we will study about the name later and the ID we will use in this video. So let's see what happens. Oops. Sorry. Yes, like this. So here is an input. Here is an input element where I can type anything. So this is one type of element. So now if I if color, now it will it is like this. It's a color pickle. It's wholly a color picker like this. Okay, if I say some range, it is like a bar which I can change like this, like this. Month, I can input on a month. If I click, if I say date, oops, I can use a whole date in the future. 27/4/2021 with if I and 2022 January 19/1 2022. Now if I see what is email, it only expects email. If I like this, it will okay. For that I need a form tag like this so I can submit it. See, it's saying please include an @ in the email address. It is missing an @ sign which is used in the email. If I say, it is saying incomplete like this. Now it's working. Okay, there are many like this. Password is also an interesting value. Now if I say, you can't see what I am typing. If I telephone, let's see what is it. Nothing so much. If I use URL, now it will only accept URL. It only wants HTTPS or HTTP and anything after that, and it will work like this. So these are the most used input elements. If one more is file. Now it will help us to choose file. If I click here, it will open like this. Wait, let me choose one. Let's see. See, it is uploaded, but it is not like that it will read the value what is inside it. It is just for showing. We have to do more so that it can do it. So these are the most used form elements, input elements. Okay. So let's see what are HTML labels, like this. So HTML, the label element defines a label for several form elements. The label element is useful for screen reader users because the screen reader will read out loud the label when the user focuses on the input element. The label element also helps users who have difficulty clicking on very small regions such as radio buttons or checkboxes, because when the user clicks the text within the label element, it toggles the radio button or checkbox. The for attribute of the label tag should be equal to the ID attribute of the input element to bind them together. So I said that we will use ID in this video. So let's see what is ID. Let us do it as text. Okay. Now we need a label. I will show you the difference. What is the use for and ID in this in label. Okay, so if I say name, okay, now if I click on this label, nothing happens because the input element and the label are not binded. Okay, if I click, when I click here, then only the input focuses, not here. Okay, now if I set an ID of the input, and the for should be the same to the ID of the input which you want to bind. Now see, if I click here, it also focuses, and if I click here, it also focuses. I am clicking here and it is focusing on this input. So these are the uses of labels. So these are HTML inputs and labels. If you want to learn more about HTML, go to my channel. There will be more videos of HTML and the links are in the description below. Today we have learned what are HTML input and HTML labels. We will meet in the next video. Bye.